DeFi Kingdoms, where you can summon heroes, trade with other players, quest, and fight challenging enemies in a fantasy world brought to life in pixel art animation. Command your legion, claim your legacy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's AMA with DeFi Kingdoms. We are, as usual, going to do some updates to start with, and then roll into some questions. That said, there was, somebody broke into our Twitter account. It definitely wasn't me. I'm the Alpha Police. It couldn't have been me. But there was a promise made of, some alpha and some information. So we are likely going to take a little bit longer today on the update side of things to talk about some stuff and give y'all some information. However, before we get into that side of things, we do just have some other updates to run through as well. So starting things off, the PvP Open Testing Weekend Twitter giveaway has concluded. The winners have been announced. Congratulations. It was 100 winners at $50 each, which is absolutely amazing. Kudos to everybody who participated. Congratulations to everybody who won. If you have not reached out with your OX address yet, please do so. If you cannot DM the DFK Twitter account, either comment on that post and ask for a DM, or just reach out to me separately and ask me to DM you. I would like to try to keep all of the address collection to the DFK Twitter account. That way I have one source of truth for everything. But if you can't DM that account, let me know. We'll get it sorted out. It's not a problem. But very excited for that, and huge congratulations to all of those winners. Moving right along, Dreamer has returned after a lot of travel, including very, very long travel itself, from Singapore and Token 2049 and the Asia Blockchain Gaming Alliance event and the Karate Combat event. There were a lot of events in Singapore. So I'm going to turn the mic over to him and just let him talk about Singapore, Token, Karate Combat, all of the above.
Thanks, Bolan. Yeah, guys, in the space of a week, I think total travel time was 54 hours round trip. And then hit the ground running and pretty much go every day. It was a great use of time because leading up to Token, there were other events, and I'm going to highlight them here. There were really a couple targets with this trip. One of the biggest was previously known as Klaytn and now known as Kaya team. We've had Serendale there for a while. We did this big push a year and a half to try to get more things built there. I think people saw our public grant proposal. That didn't go as planned, and there was kind of a step back when there was a hack later last year on the bridge, shortly after they announced a potential partnership with Finchia. We've seen that all come to fruition. We've seen their teams on the biz dev and marketing side come together, and they have a huge heavy hitting part of that partnership through line messaging system that is really big historically in Japan. I think the numbers are 95% or more of the active adult user base in Japan actively uses it. I think in Korea, a similar app of Kakao Talk. I think in parts of Hong Kong, China, and other parts of Asia, WeChat, it's kind of comparable there, except Line really leans into their IP of their emojis and their overall experience. So it could be a good crossover with the space, especially with games. So hit that first. So they had an event called Kaya Ride the Wave, and was able to bring a couple of my extended network that has grown as well, including George and some others. And what we found is majority of the team is the Klaytn guys. Didn't see a whole lot of new people. However, did meet a very important person at Line, head of biz dev there. And that's really the first thing we want to work on, because they have really cool products that could maybe help us with a solution for or adding to social interaction, maybe even in-game chat, not sure. Looking at that, they have other solutions and even announced a grant to cover some of the costs to integrate into Line itself, maybe as a dashboard with push notifications, keep in mind, like our gameplay would be directly applicable for their main user base. So, and all of the ups and downs with the initial Klaytn decision that we didn't control, a lot of fallout from FTX, restructuring, Korean government, and so on. We've been patient because the long-term play on marketing to that region hopefully will pay off, and it's looking like it's coming together. In our discussions, we're thinking about a couple things. In the last year, we've worked through a lot of cost reduction. RPCs and others are big cost sources of cost for us, and they've leaned into helping provide solutions there. Being more supportive of other wallets, including MetaMask, is something that is coming. They had like a gas reimbursement, I think I'm saying it wrong, program that nobody could really participate in because it was all driven only by Kaikus previously, the wallet that is now rebranded as Kaya wallet. So a lot of pain points we're seeing get resolved or worked on, and we're really excited to build on this relationship with Line, and then really feel like once we do that, Kaya will be even more interested and willing to help us, given that Line is now a 50-50 decision maker structurally from how we understand it and what we can see, next to Kakao Talk, which is they were the group that kind of like stepped away a bit before. So I'll pause. Sunbear, if you're on, I know that you've been working on the Line relationship for a while. This was a good touch point with the Kaya team. We are very focused, but is there anything I said that you want to add to on your excitement or what we're working on there to make sure that our chain partners are all being strengthened at the same time?
You covered it really well, but I will just add, if you don't know how big Line is, it is huge. I mean, just imagine like the biggest messaging system in pretty much all of Asia, and that most people are using, and how they're integrating different apps at this point, and really trying to get folks more connected, and then making a main partnership with this. Not even a partnership, being a major part of Kaya. It's huge, and so it is our main target, our main connection there that we're really going to work on and see what we can create with them, because the possibilities for exposure are huge. So yeah, a lot of excitement. Thanks, Dreamer.
Alrighty. Yeah, I just did a quick Google. 182 million active users based on what's available online across Thailand, Vietnam, Indo, and Japan. So leaning into that, we'll see. That's just mainly on the marketing side, but really that unlocks other things like we want more things in Serendale, and we need support there on the tech side and the marketing side. So we're working on it. This trip definitely allowed to be there in person since their headquarters is in Singapore. All right, next chain partner, Metis. So Metis, they did a cool collaboration with the ABCA event, which, Bolon, what does it mean? What does it stand for again? Gaming Alliance Asia.
Asia Blockchain Gaming Alliance, I think.
Yeah.
Don't quote me.
I just scrambled it. Oh wait, and my camera's not on. I'm the one that says we always need our cameras on. You'll notice too. Oh wait, is it this side? Dreamer over 9,000. So there's a whole Avalanche thing going on with their Avalanche 9,000 program we'll get to, but anyway, wanted to explain that. So on the Meta side, they're leaning into the ABCA group and doing a cool like launch program. We were invited to go and speak on a panel. That went pretty well, and then had like a 3-hour powwow with Tom, the CEO, and Elena, one of the core people on the foundation that makes all the big decisions. It was cool because the last meetup I think in person was Denver, and that was like right when we announced everything. So much has happened since then, and we even had a re-up on our deal. Man, are they excited. We've seen their team show up for us every week since, and seen a lot of outputs come to fruition as well, like the main reduction and adjustments on the chain. And we were so close to starting to have our phase 1 launch there. We talked about a lot of other things as well, things I can't share, but it is very clear that their approach, which differs from many in the space. I'll use Polygon since we never really did anything there. Polygon approaches always seem to be, at least historically, you take your ammo and you just like spray it across the whole industry and see how many people you could attract. But then after that, not really cultivating names as much as the feedback we've heard from others. Metis is like, well, they'll snipe a few, and if they're good, they're going to just keep pumping their focus into them. So what we're trying to do is really show up to them not only as a one-off, but build that long-term focus, because it really seems like they'll like scratch our backs back and show up for us. So that was a great event. They appreciated being there and contributing to the panel, and then the follow-up after was really good. On the Avalanche side, they did have an event that we went to. It's the same event they do at Token every year. They kind of like get a burgers joint like right in the conference center. A lot of people show up. It was good. They're really looking forward to Avalanche LATAM Summit. And there are targets on our side within the industry, and I'm going to be careful not to give anything away. We're working on some cool collaborations with some bigger names, that we're finding our relationship with Avalanche is getting stronger and stronger, to the point of getting support to go to their summit, us making requests on others in the space to try to attract on either biz dev targets or others. And I don't know how so much progress has happened with that relationship in the last 6 months. It's probably linked to Sunbear and Bolon and Winston and others, all just being so close to them, but really feeling the love from Avalanche, and it was good to be there in person. Token was great. Token is always a pretty big event. Tons of people there. Got exposed to some new bigger names as well. Ivan on Tech, who knew who we were, and actually at one point was holding Jewel. We had a long conversation about tokenomics shift and kind of repitched him everything to get him up to speed. He has a huge audience, more so out of EMEA, I believe. But there was a comment of like, maybe we should consider covering this or looking into it. I just want people to make sure that we appreciate these events. Sometimes on Twitter and everything, they look like we're just kind of out there high-fiving and having a good time. When you're sleeping like 3 to 4 hours a night and talking all day and networking and taking pictures and trying to make notes and following up and putting on that face, it is hard work. It's necessary work. If we look back a year and a half ago, I got some pretty critical feedback from the community about being too inward facing. And there were some really good examples, like Crypto Grady is a great one. He was always very outward facing, very passionate, and believed that we need to stay relevant in Twitter and all of these groups, even just for awareness. And it was great feedback and something I tried to improve. Now, we all have limited time. So my focus kind of shifted away from Discord and other things, leaving that to experts like Bolon, and try to be our representative out there. Now, as a result, I'm less active in Discord. I travel a lot, and I'm involved in things that aren't always immediately DeFi Kingdoms. I fought and lost in the first IFC, and you could look at that and be like, wow, Dreamer was distracted doing that. Well, I got knocked out right over the DeFi Kingdoms logo. I did that for all of you. I barely even trained because I didn't take off work, and I fought with a cracked rib. If there's any out there that question me doing these things for DeFi Kingdoms, I invite you to look at the facts. There's been some critical comments, and I don't think most of them are fair. I want to make sure that we see, if part of my job is biz dev and brand awareness, show me a better opportunity than one to work with the top influencers and some of the top projects in the space at the highest level compared to anybody else out there. The Karate Combat event, I was able to commentate next to Altcoin Daily, BitLord, Mario Naval, Crypto, and Ansem, getting some of their personal information, talking about DFK offline and some online, and representing us as a group. We're not only relevant in building, we're in the center of one of the stages out there. The travel to Singapore was not paid for by DFK. It was paid for by those that I'm helping with on the IFC and Karate Combat. The ticket to Token was not paid for by DFK. It was paid for by them. And I got to wear my jersey that says DeFi Kingdoms and Dreamer for a full day and do our DFK stuff. Bitcoin Nashville, Whale Pass, I did not pay for it. Travel, did not pay for it. Travel once this year to every event, we did not pay for. So I hope that I could get some support and some understanding of how, if you want to task me with, let's be out there outward facing, let's rub shoulders with bigger names, let's stay relevant, let's get input, let's get sponsorships, many of which this year have come from these connections. Let's think of unique ways to stand out. I'm trying my best to do that. And that currently, the biggest ROI of time spent seems to be working with people that we've built our network since starting a year and a half ago, mainly around George, then Karate Combat, IFC. You know, we've hopped on Crypto Crow's stream. We've gotten many mentions from many people within this network. We get trailers going out to millions of people on the stream every time. More and more influencers are re-streaming and sharing that name on the mat, and more and more. So I'm very excited and proud that we have found opportunities like this to be both cost effective and also just in general more effective than most other opportunities out there. So Karate Combat event was a hit. Hopefully people saw it. It was entertaining. And I think we'll get to an update for Salt Lake City later, but there's some big things that they're cooking up to really look out for us in Salt Lake for those that are coming. A guest list that's probably too big for us to even fill. But if you're wanting to go to permissionless in Salt Lake and not sure, and you want to go to a Karate Combat event and you want to be with all of the, I don't know, I think we're going to have like 15 or so of the DFK group there, a fair amount from the community. If you haven't decided yet, if you're going, we'll be able to hang out at our booth. We'll be able to do a lot of things outside of it. And then also the last day, go and have our own area with our guest list for DFK. So that's my report on Token. I'm going to pause and see if I forgot Breakpoint. So Breakpoint is a Solana event. For any of those that are like, are we going to Solana next? This was simply an effort to go and see what all the fuss is about. They had a huge area for gaming. We saw a couple cool people there like Jesus. Man, it was a blast. It was probably the most fun event I've ever been. And I really hope that events with like Avalanche and others will follow suit. But they really nailed the gaming approach. People were playing games. It seemed more natural. Nobody left the event. It was packed all day that I was there. But that was a cool kind of cherry on top because it was an area that I've just never been exposed to. So got a lot of connections and reps in, even with games that want to do like cross-chain collaborations, which we've been lighter on in the bear market because a lot of people aren't even open to that. One of the main ones, Star Atlas founder, Michael Wagner, we did a little interview together and he wants to do stuff with us. We both kind of had our initial heyday at the same time and had very different paths and trajectory. They didn't suffer from the same kind of bridge hack and things that we did. But anyway, these things matter. I hope that people see that they do. I do apologize if it makes me feel less involved, but if there's ever a question on the purpose, please, if you hear anybody question it, know that the purpose of these efforts is for DeFi Kingdoms. If I ever fight again, this time I need to do it for myself so I don't get knocked out, embarrassed in the way that I was. But even when people bring that up to talk shit about me, I'm like, I did that for DFK. And it almost kind of makes me feel a little emotional because this is hard work. It's affected my health. It's affected my family relationship. It's affected everything. I'm literally giving everything I can for this game, for this team, and for this community. And I don't need praise and everything, but I really don't need unnecessary negative talk. So if you have heard this message and you see comments, please help me. It's easy for people to misunderstand. Why isn't Dreamer in Discord? Why is he traveling so much? Why is he focused on IFC sometimes? I hope the message is clear now. There's good intent, and we are seeing the fruits of those labors, and hopefully we'll continue to do so. Bolon, back over to you.
Thank you, sir. We're going to roll into talking about Salt Lake City and permissionless, but it's kind of related anyway. So just to reiterate a couple of things that Dreamer said, like these events are no joke. This is actually prior to DFK. What I did for a living for a while was corporate events, and it's no joke. But crypto events take it to a whole different level. I think many of you have seen me at events at this point or after events. And Dreamer's the same when he hops on the AMA. Somebody said when you first started talking, like, Dreamer sounds like he's tired. He's sick also, because that's what happens. You go to these events, you stand for 14, 18 hours a day on your feet, you talk the entire time, you lose your voice, you end up coming home sick. Like, they are hard work, but they're very, very worth it if they are done strategically. And so having the opportunity for Dreamer to be in Singapore, legitimately connect with all three of our chain partners in person at in a single location, and be able to do all of this extra networking and everything, like that is a massive opportunity. the savings on travel is huge. Like flying to Asia from, stateside, not cheap. Staying in Asia, not cheap. But then also from like the marketing side, what Karate Combat, what it costs to run those ads and that kind of thing, like it is substantial. So like there's just so many wins that come from this. And then getting to rub shoulders with these massive names in the space. I think at one point, I actually added it up because I was curious. You were sitting there with three people. It was Altcoin Daily, Ansem, and Bitlord, and that's like 2.5 million Twitter followers and 2 million YouTube followers. Like that's no joke. That is a massive audience. So just want to reiterate that as we talk about our next event.
Wait. I want to say
go ahead, Fox.
before you launch into the stuff about the next event. But yeah, I just want to echo all of that. And I'm not going to turn my camera on because I got a black eye right now. Not from Dreamer. But let's see, it's such a good ROI. It's easily one of the best ROI things we can put. Historically, we've really done a lot of in-person marketing type stuff at events, and it's so hard. And shout out to Dreamer and Sunbear and Bolon. Like they are so good at these types of things. It's amazing. So poor Dreamer, I think he's been on the road more than at home this year. And it's just like I would love to send him to every single event out there just because it's so great. There's so much exposure. That's how we find our partners. That's how we make connections in this space. And really that is so important at this I guess state that we're in right now with this industry where it's still very like nascent, right? So there's a lot of other people that have a lot of similar ideas that are trying to build on the blockchain, and having us connect with them, it's just amazing. So shout out to all of them, especially Dreamer on that front. It's amazing. Thanks, Bola.
Absolutely. So talking about our next event, in good Lord, is that 2 weeks? Oh my God, I think it is 2 weeks. Whew! All right. In 2 weeks, we will be in Salt Lake City for Permissionless. To Dreamer's point, there will be 12 of our team in attendance. So very, very excited for that. We're going to be showing up big. I think currently I know of 9 community members going, with a possible 10th if Beef commits. I'm going to call them out live on the AMA. But we would love to see you all there. If you are able to make it, please come out, hang out with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. We are going to have a big 10 by 20 booth. Shout out to Actually, on that note, if you haven't noticed, Pieface has rebranded her pseudonym as Starcat. I'm still having to get in the habit of using the right name now. But Starcat has been hard at work revamping some of our booth graphics. They're going to look absolutely amazing. We're going to have some merch there as well that she's been hard at work on. So really, really excited for that. It's going to be a really good time. If you are able to come out, please do. We're going to have a lot of fun. And we absolutely, like, one of the highlights of my job is getting to meet you guys in person. It's just super cool to put a face and a handshake and a hug to the name that I talk to on a daily basis in Discord. So if you're in the area or you can get to the area, you want to come hang out with us, please do. Couple things with that. If you are interested in coming and you have not gotten a permissionless ticket yet, but you would like to, let me know. We do have a discount code for tickets. Also, if you are planning on coming, please reach out to me so that I can have a count of who to expect. Even if you're tentative, just let me know, get in touch. We'll stay in touch. But we've got some pretty cool stuff planned. And so having an idea of how many people we are going to have there would be super helpful. So please do reach out to me if you were planning on being there and I have not talked to you yet. But with all of the fun stuff that we have planned at Permissionless, there is also another Karate Combat event at Permissionless. And I'm going to actually hand it back to Dreamer because I feel like this is his news and I don't want to steal his thunder. So I'm going to hand it back to him to talk about that.
Oh no, my news on people attending. Is that
Yes.
the thing? Oh, okay. So yeah, the founder of Karate Combat, Only LARPing, he loves DFK. And that's why even though they charge a lot for their ad spaces, As long as there's one available, they've been hooking us up. Now they've been having a lot of success on the pit, so we haven't been on the pit as much, but we're hoping to try to get there this time. In addition to that, we've been given a pretty fatty guest list. He said, if you can get 100 people there, we'll make a DFK portion for you. It's a fun show. A lot of people show up outside of just like the fight scene. They're following around these crypto conferences, which is that synergy I was talking about. If there's an IFC event and if I have helped it, George runs it, but George and I are becoming pretty good buds. If I have helped it, they do offer to cover my travel. So now I get to go and help with that while also helping with the booth at Token. Again, to no cost of DFK. This is a great deal. Everybody wins. Now, if we're there, we have a booth and we have cool. Oh wait, I almost said. I'll just say it. I don't care. We're rebranding our cool things. We have cool jerseys coming, at least for the team. You're gonna see them. But if in addition to that, we have friends and family of our community in the area or not coming in. Man, let's attend this together. It would be really cool. We need to do some work ahead of time in order to get the guest list in order. But if you're in the area, if you can make it to the area, if you have friends, if you want to come to the party, it's going to be sick. And they're really leaning in. They're like, they've really liked us. They've done a few visages with us. We're working on an additional follow-up sponsorship right now, hopefully in place by Salt Lake City. And they're probably one of the best organic media outlets in the space that isn't just an outright like shill. So yeah, a lot of cool things. Bolon, did I cover everything? Did you want to add to that shout out? I don't know how we're going to get feedback from people or if you've already been trying to get kind of RSVPs, but over to you.
Yeah, for sure. So I have talked to many of you, but if you are planning on coming, just reach out to me to Twitter, Discord, preferably Discord, but Twitter works. Whatever else, y'all know where to find me. But yeah, just shoot me a message and I'll get you on the list to make sure that we get everything we need. But yeah, super excited. Dreamer did drop the bomb on the jerseys, which is fine. I was messing with y'all and didn't want to tell you, but yeah, super excited for that as well. We are trying to get some extras also, so hey, show up, good things happen, it's a good time. But yeah, super excited for permissionless. It's going to be a great time. Actually, everybody that is on this stage right now will be in permissionless, as well as 6 others. So come hang out with us. That is probably the second or third biggest showing of our team at an event. Definitely the biggest since we streamlined the team. So come see us, come hang out with us. We would love to meet you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm super excited for it. So I just hope to get to meet a lot of you guys there as well. Cool. So going on from there, we've got some game updates specifically that we are going to roll into. So I promised some announcements and some alpha drops. The alpha drop, we've got a couple of alpha drops actually, to be fair. But we are going to be unveiling the launch date of the Coliseum at the end of this AMA. So make sure you stick around. Also, right after this AMA, I'm going to be rolling into a Twitter space with Metis. So please come join us there. Support that Twitter space. We're going to be talking more about the Coliseum. So at the end of this AMA, we will be announcing the launch date, which is something I'm really excited for. But before we get there, we've got some other game updates. So I'm going to turn things over to Hubert, who I think has a few things to go through with us, and I'm going to let you pick the order.
Alrighty, thanks. So I think I'll just go with the order we have written down since I'm not good on my feet. But let's see. So first off, just want to say that once I guess I gotta be a little careful too with the words I say because it kind of leads. It says the other thing. Once PvP is out, we will be doing. We will be introducing bring your own equipment to the whole system. The guild will no longer be providing any rental gear for you to use. So instead, we will have the NPCs that are currently in Crystal Vale will begin selling equipment that you can buy to equip all your heroes with. They'll have level 3, level 6, and level 10 equipment. The level 10 equipment is like a similar quality to what you're used to using with heroes that don't have equipment right now in the hunts. But for PvP and for hunts, if your heroes are not equipped and they're high level, you're very likely going to have a bad time, because they'll essentially be using level 1 equipment at that point, and it's not going to be good. So we're making sure to include extra warnings in the UI to let you know. It's like, oh, your hero doesn't have equipment. You might want to do something about that before you try this. So just want to make sure you guys are all aware of that. The equipment is, let's see, the equipment is purchasable with gold. You cannot sell equipment for gold though. So it's just a one-way thing, and it does use the similar kind of approach that our vendor uses, where the price of the equipment will increase as purchases are made. So just, I guess, be aware of that. It's going to be increasing a lot slower than it does for some of the other things like potions and stuff, but it also will decrease a lot slower as well. So I mean, you guys will see how that works once it's out, but yes, so just be aware of that. It's coming. That also is going to mean that your heroes are all going to look very different here pretty soon. Like every piece of equipment has a different appearance. So that should be pretty fun, I think. And so just, I guess, if you're really attached to the way your hero looks right now, I guess, like, take a lot of pictures and look at it, but you're going to need to, they're going to need some better gear. Like, that stuff that they're wearing right now, if they don't have equipment right now, is like thousands of years old and rusty and very blunt. So they need something better. So
no, unless you're already holding some awesome rock bach or boar hunt drops, right? Like, those guys are going to look the same still.
Yeah, those guys will look the same, and they're awesome. Okay, so that is that. Also, along with that, we are going to be addressing a request from the community that's been made a few times in the past, which is to provide an extra bonus for heroes that are at level 20 and have maximum experience points when they're doing hunts. So for that, it's going to work like, if they're level 20 and their experience is maxed out, they will be treated as level 25 for the purposes of Moksha Rune drops. So for each hero, that would be the case. So that's another thing that we have planned, and that will come out at the same time as PvP. And then lastly, I will introduce something that we've been alluding to for a long time, which we are calling the influence system. It's something we've been like, oh yeah, when this thing that we were not going to tell you about it, but basically the way that what that is in where the Colosseum is, it's in the Sundered Isles. There's the city that emerged from the ocean is called Submersia. They are, they were very isolated. They need help to kind of get acquainted with the rest of the world, and so they have a system of pledging your heroes to the city to be bannermen there, and in doing so, they're helping the city out just in whatever way is needed. One of the biggest ways is to fill the stands of the Colosseum to make sure that there's always a big crowd. And by being pledged to the city, you're essentially locking your heroes into the city, and they provide you with influence for you doing that.
Which, real quick, sorry to interrupt. So I did just send a tweet from the DFK account that it's a one long graphic. I've broken it into two for the purposes of y'all being able to read it. So the first half of that is on screen as Hubert talks about it, but please go support that tweet as well. Give it a like, retweet, all that good stuff. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, I should have practiced before this, but this graphic will help a lot. So so you'll be able to pledge your heroes for between 1 to 6 months. And with that, so you'll I forget, that's Brock O'Dial is the NPC that you'll talk to. He's also known as the recruiter. So you'll be able to pledge your heroes there, receive influence, and while they're pledged, your heroes will not be transferable, not be sellable. They'll provide you with influence, and you will still be able to use them to do PvP. Also, you'll be able to, not initially at launch, but soon after, you'll be able to level them up while they're pledged, and also are allowed to like change their equipment as needed. And if you do need to like early withdraw them, there will be an early withdrawal fee that's kind of associated with the amount of influence they provide and how much time is left on on their locking period. But you can also, like, if you're past that locking period, you don't necessarily need to like relock them up or anything. As long as they're still pledged, they'll still provide influence until you pull them out of the system. And with that influence, like, what is that used for? We have multiple uses planned, but like the initial usage that will be available for you is to participate in the spectator system that we're also including with all of this, which allows players to spectate matches and vote on who they think will be the winner. Not every match will have that setting enabled, but for matches that do have that setting enabled, you can vote on who's the winner. And also any match that has voting can also be sponsored. And if it's a sponsor, that would mean like someone can put up rewards to be distributed to those who voted correctly on who won. And also the combatant will receive 10% of those rewards as well, whoever wins on that as well. So it's going to be kind of a whole system there, kind of reminiscent of Karate Combat with kind of up-only voting is what I think we can kind of compare that to, if you're familiar with that. And influence is something that you spend. It recharges every week, so it doesn't go away permanently, but as you use it within a week, you will eventually run out if you use it all up. And then like the following week, you'll be able to do it all over again. Let's see, there's more to this graphic than just this stuff. So I guess to go into more of the details here. So yeah, with the rewards, so I just mentioned like being able to vote on sponsored battles and receiving rewards there. We also are implementing a fee sharing model for this whole system, where a portion of fees, similar to like how the jeweler works on Crystal Vale and Sarandale, a portion of fees will be going to people with influence, and kind of distributed based on the ratio of influence you have versus other players, and like kind of a total thing. So it works very similar to like what you're used to, I think, with the jeweler. And we also have a Coliseum fund that we will be putting funds into, that also will be like distributing a portion of that to all influence holders every day, once per day. So there will be passive rewards coming that way. Heroes that are pledged will also receive a small amount of experience every day for the work that they do. I'll note that it's not going to be as much as you could get by like actively questing your heroes, because this is like completely passive. There's no stamina spent or any fees associated with them doing this. It's just something that you're allowed to do, lock up your heroes, and so you will get a little bit of experience. Just noting it's not going to be comparable to what you can get just doing other things. Yeah, I did mention we have other systems planned with this influence system that we're going to announce in the future. Like there could be content that is only accessible by having a certain amount of influence, things like that. And let's see, I think there's one other thing. Oh, yes. The way influence works, like how much influence you get per hero, is based on the hero score system that we kind of announced with the announcement of the Divine Essence system. So heroes that are mythic, that are higher level, that have more summons, will provide more influence than those that are like a no summon common basic hero at level 1. Like that'll be kind of the minimum that you can get. And we're also providing a multiplier for Gen 0 heroes, which will provide a 50 times increase on what they can provide. So Gen 0s will be like one of the largest providers of influence. So that's kind of to address, I think, a concern that people had about Divine Essence and not being able to burn Gen 0s. Here you will be able to use them, and they will provide, an extra bonus. So there is that as well. And I guess just with that locking period, I guess the way it works is kind of similar to what you're used to with the jeweler. Like if you lock for the full 6-month time, the maximum, you'll receive as much influence as your hero has in hero score. If you do just 1 month, then you'd receive like 1/6 of that amount. And then it just is a ratio between those 2 points if you do something in between. So hopefully that makes sense. Sorry, I kind of ran through it very quickly, and that's a lot of new information. So, I mean, this will be recorded, and we'll try to answer questions as they come up. But really excited to announce all this. I think there's a lot of potential with what we have planned. Seems like Dreamer's about to say some more about it too. So I'll pass it over to him.
Yeah, guys. 2 years and counting. People are saying we need hero burn. We need hero utility. We need more. Then we landed the biggest deal we ever had in our lives that is going to be the potential largest catalyst of gameplay in the space that connects to all systems. And Hubert just announced the influence system that will probably tie gameplay, which only happens match by match, which in terms of volume, if you only do matches, private matches, man, it's going to be hard to really move that needle. We got a lot of heroes, and in a match, you only got like 6 going at once. That's cool and that's fun, but that wasn't enough to really cater to the needs of our players with lots of heroes. Also, when you invite competition, sometimes you get feels bad. And there's some people that aren't good at certain things. They really will like traditional DFK features like summoning, like a lot of our guilds do. They have mastered hunts and look for more hunts in the future to figure out how to master and do better on and get fun drops. But there might not be people, not everybody is going to be at the level of competing in these tournaments, especially with those that come in. So what's in it for them? Well, we want people to be participating in the whole experience, have a vested interest in outcomes of tournaments. And what better way to do that than find a way that you can essentially bet that's legal and not restricted since it's up only, that is connected to a part of the game that's in maybe one of the most need of some love, heroes. Now, if you go and summon and you don't like your hero, you can burn it, you can sell it, or you can bring it over to the Coliseum and pledge it to the city and get rewards passively, be able to actively watch others in the community, not only be like, yay, we're supporting you and watching you, but something's in it for you as well. Now, in order to complete the system, it'll mainly come into effect with tournaments, as there are rewards for tournaments for players to win tournaments. There will be rewards for those that are watching through the influence system. They use their influence and try to win some rewards as well. This creates kind of an esports environment where we have our like kind of professional competitive gamers that are either doing their own marketed private matches or our tournaments, and then in the future other tournaments as well. When you see a lot of content creators out there and they want to find games to cover, they're not just doing like a game review or playing it themselves. In addition to that, they could be coming in to look at the rewards that are up for grabs and how they can get some of them. One of which is through the influence system, stacking those heroes, and the rarity, the level of those heroes equal more influence, with Gen Zeros getting an even higher multiple. Now, if you're somebody with influence, you could be looking at the matches, the tournaments coming up, and simply speculating and trying to play the game that way. You could be a player yourself and speculating on top of it. We're looking at ways to make sure that's controlled and you don't really like exploit. But just getting started, there's a lot of follow-up features that I think Hubert was probably careful not to mention linked to this. But outside of gameplay, others' participation, good. Hero staking, good, which is a form of a soft burn, right? If you're moving over there and you are staked, you're not summoning, you're not questing, right? People supporting others playing, good. Sharing it on X, good. Attracting influencers, good. Attracting people that want to market to us, good. I hope people see that vision. It is a vision where if we were to attract 0.001% of all the top heroes to go to the Coliseum and compete, that'd be cool, but it doesn't move the needle on the economy. This approach does, and it will continue to find ways to refine it. I'm sure it won't be perfect, but it's a huge step forward, and I hope people see that if you're supporting the Coliseum, you are supporting Avalanche and Klaytn and summoning and all of the markets within That's the goal. Make fun, competitive gameplay, supercharge the entire system where everybody wins.
Awesome. Real quick reminder, that whole graphic is tweeted already. Please do go like and share it and retweet it and all that jazz. But you can also read it at your leisure, download it, all of that, dissect it. A couple of questions just to hit them real quick. Can you summon while heroes are pledged? No, because they'll be on Metis, and there is no portal at the Coliseum. Will heroes get XP while pledged? Yes, they will get a small amount of XP every day while they are pledged. Heroes can fight while pledged, so you can pledge your hero and still participate in PvP with that hero. To do PvP, your hero must also be at the Coliseum. One real quick clarifying question for you, Hubert, from a previous point. With bring your own equipment, that is not just weapons but also armor, correct?
Yes, weapons, armor, and shields as well for those that use shields.
I count shields as armor, but I guess technically those are two different things. All right, awesome. Super exciting. I hope that all of you are excited about it. Like I said, go check out that tweet. I will also get all of this announced in Discord a little bit later. I can only manipulate so many screens at one time, though. But really appreciate any likes and shares on Twitter, of course. Get it in front of other people. That is always massive. So we do still have another alpha drop planned, I should say, for the release date of the Coliseum, which will also be the release date of Bring Your Own Equipment and the Shift in Hunts, which is why Hubert very considerately did not say when that was happening just yet, so hang tight. But we are also going to throw back, a lot of people in the chat were asking about the jerseys that we had mentioned. So we wanted to bring up Starcat real quick to talk about the jerseys, and we will show them off as well. You ready, Starcat?
Ready. I'm here, guys.
Boom.
Oh my goodness. Oh, right in front of our faces. Yes, so check this out. We have designed some jerseys for permissionless, and initially we usually have our jerseys for our team, because it's like a cool like team jersey type of thing, very esports-esque. And we've got we miss Beetle Dude, and so he's here in the AMA with his name on the jersey. But yes, we've created these and designed these for to celebrate the PvP, and it's just the excitement is up there. And the extra surprise is that we have designed ones to be handed out at permissionless. So that's why we are so stoked and excited for people to be joining the event and coming to the event, because you are able to snag a jersey with bullish on the back. However, we do have our much loved creators who we've reached out to asking for sizes. But not only that, because we have actually designed custom jerseys for them as well. So for those who are coming, like I believe Sergeant Filthy McNasty is there, so he will have his very own jersey over there. So we are very excited. We just love the community so much. We wanted to share some love, especially to those who create content for us during these 3 years. And we just wanted to show our appreciation and love. So we are so excited for those of you who are who will be there, and we will hand a jersey out to you. And I love how Bolan's been saying, like, we'll be seeing a sea of jerseys, DFK jerseys out there, quite literally, because we've got our Coliseum, and the sea puns are all out there. But yes, just wanted to share that. And the booth, very excited. We will share images of the booth later, but it is following like a similar format as well. but yeah, I mean, I'm staring at this right now and I freaking love it. Like, if you guys see the details, we've got our fight and our defeat graphics on there. If we are very familiar with those, when you win a hunt or PvP, you get to see that. Or if you lose, which hopefully, you know, you don't see that often. But then we also have like heroes on the sleeve, and it's just so beautiful. And it's been a collaborative effort, and we are very much just want to share the love. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll jump in. If we look at this, there's some major changes right on the chest. DFK instead of DeFi Kingdoms, and focusing on Coliseum. There have been some comments out there like, if we're distracting with DeFi, with some games from before, is it distracting on the gameplay? So you might notice that we're going to be leaning into DFK Coliseum with this. From somebody looking for a game, you cannot deny that this jersey is a gamer jersey. If you walk by and saw DeFi Kingdoms, some people their brain might go directly to like, oh, DeFi game, or oh yeah, that's like that farming game. So we're not hiding from the fact that we're DFK, but we are trying to highlight the gameplay on top of the awesome system within DeFi Kingdoms. I love fight right on the front. You can't ignore that is like the whole point. We can say PvP. A lot of people either don't know what that means or just kind of like a black word. It's a walking informational billboard. The Colosseums on the back are a tribute to the beautiful art that Second Best Stat and others have been working on. Right shoulder victory, left shoulder defeat. That is PvP without saying PvP. If you say, make me a jersey that says you're a game without saying you're a game, like Starcat. Dang it. Starcat has nailed it. So we're excited to rep it. We're excited for the event, and we're excited for others to get theirs as well. And hopefully, going forward, others can pick these up. I'm sure we'll probably try to make them available for people to purchase. But the year of the game 2.0, or whatever we're calling this year, is continuing to level up, and our marketing efforts with the help of Metis are being leveled up as well. Huge shout out to them, who's helping in a big way, the booth and a lot of these expenses. But if not anything else, at least be excited of the beauty of this design, and hopefully everybody will pick one up either from this event or in the future.
Yeah, these are awesome. So, I mean, ultimately, come to Salt Lake City, hang out with us, have a good time, go to Karate Combat, get a jersey. I don't know how to incentivize you more than that to come see us. Come on, come hang out with us. So, just to clarify, if you tell me now that you are going, it won't be a custom one because our deadline for that has unfortunately passed. However, we will have ones that say bullish on the back that we will have to give away. So, come hang out with us, get a jersey, be awesome, have a good time. I'm super excited. It's been too long since I've been to an event, and I can feel it. I'm getting antsy. Awesome. I am super stoked for this. Also super stoked to troll Matty Pesk IRL. Absolutely, always. But come on, come hang out with us. With that said, at this point, I'm not going to jump into questions. We are going to roll these questions over to next week because here in 5 minutes, I am going to be in a Twitter space with Metis, so I can't go over today. However, come hang out with us in that Twitter space. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk about a lot of this stuff and more that we have not talked about yet. We will be unveiling the release date of the Coliseum momentarily. But prior to that, I just want to check in. We've talked about a lot of stuff. We've hit a lot of alpha. Actually, real quick, one other question from chat, which Zipper did answer in chat. I think Hubert might have as well. Durability is not coming with bring your own equipment. That will be another update. So for right now, that equipment will not lose durability just yet either. But I wanted to clarify that from chat because I forgot. But I just want to open the floor. If anybody has anything they want to add, take a couple minutes, have a good time, and then we'll reveal the release date, and we will end this, and I will jump into that Twitter space where I hope you all come join us.
Yeah, I guess if I can jump in first.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say one other little detail that I think will get you guys excited. And shout out to Fox for all the work he has put into the new hero bridge that we're using at layer 0 for. We do have it set up to allow multi-hero bridging with equipment and everything. There are limits to how many can be sent at once, but we've been testing those limits, and it's looking like it should be like really convenient for you guys. So I hope that's also a good piece of excitement for you. But just really excited for everything we're doing.
I'll just jump on and say, come to Salt Lake, come to Permissionless. And if you don't want to attend Permissionless, you just want to hang out with us at Karate Combat with Dreamer getting so many tickets for our community and for our team, you don't have to be at Permissionless to go to Karate Combat. He will make it happen. Thank you, Dreamer. I don't know how you pulled that off. I don't think we've ever had a section of one particular group show up at a Karate Combat event, but I am stoked for all of us to be there, be in our jerseys, and show up big. Come have some fun with us.
Awesome.
I'll pop in real quick if that's cool. Oh, there goes Bolin. See you, Bolin. Yeah, this is gonna be, come out to Salt Lake City and hang out with us. I'll be there. Tons of people are gonna be there. It's gonna be super fun. I'm so excited for PvP right around the corner, and just every great thing that's happening. We're also I'm not gonna say it, but the B word. We're also the B word, and I am excited.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, a lot to look forward to. With that, I am going to nominate Starcat to bullish us because A, she's here and I'm excited about it. B, she has a new pseudonym. And C, she's been making some really, really awesome stuff for us. So it is highly deserved. But first, I'm going to send this tweet real quick. Let's see. There might be a tweet of interest, maybe, just saying. I might want to go check it out.
Probably says something about like October, I bet. Like middle of October, I bet.
It might. Maybe December. We'll see,
Yeah. We certainly know it does not say anything about November.
Right.
Forget about November.
Also, Robert H., I saw you in chat. Please reach out to me about Permissionless if you have not done so already. Anybody else attending, please do reach out to me so we can make sure we've got you taken care of. With that, go like and retweet that tweet, but I will still show it to you here as well. The official launch date of the DFK Coliseum and player versus player combat coming to the Meta blockchain will be October 2nd, 2024. For those of you that can't do quick math, that is next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we will be going live. So super excited for this. Please go like and reshare that tweet. Let's get it out there. 30 seconds. Any last comments? And then I got to jump off of here and I will have Starcat bullish us.
Woo! Woo! Whoop!
Woo! Yes! So bullish!
Bullish!
Bullish! Thanks, everyone.
Next week.
DeFi Kingdoms, where you can summon heroes, trade with other players, quest, and fight challenging enemies in a fantasy world brought to life in pixel art animation. Command your legion